you can't help but notice in number 17 that it looks like most of the work is done for us, or a lot of it's done for us already. So here's what's going on here. Furniture manufacturer builds chairs, sofas, and tables. And then the amounts of labor of various types, as well as relative availability, is given in the table. So it looks like these are our categories. This will be maybe our X. Let X be the number of chairs, Y will be the number of sofas that we manufacture, and Z will be the number of tables. Now the characteristics are carpentry, finishing, and upholstery. And these are the labor number of hours of each. So what have we got here? Like a chair uses 6 hours of carpentry, 1 hour of finishing, and requires 2 hours of upholstery. A sofa requires 3 hours of carpentry, and so on. Now this is how much is available, but keep in mind that it's less than or equal to, less than or equal to, less than or equal to. Let's put our profits right down here in this very last row. So what does it tell us? Right here it says a chair makes us $80, then a sofa $70, and a table $120. I think we have enough written now to actually write our linear program. And here's how I see it. I think what we want to do is maximize the profit, 80x plus 70y plus 120z, subject to these constraints. I'm just going to read them to make sure I've got it right. 6x plus 3y plus 8z less than or equal to 768, x plus y plus 2z less than 144, and 2x plus 5y plus 0z is 216, less than or equal to 216, and of course our non-negativity constraints. So we'll type our linear program into the ZWIG Media site and read off the answer. Now I've gone to ZWIG Media and I typed in the program maximize P, subject to, I've typed in our constraints. Maybe check it to be sure you typed them in correctly. I'm in decimal form. You could go to fraction if you wanted, but I've got 6 significant digits. So now I'm going to press solve and get my solution. I press the solve key and this is my initial tableau, but it took 4 iterations and sets of row operations to get us down to the final tableau, which is tableau 4. So from here I can read off my solutions. Let's look and see what they are. So what about x? Now in x we have a 1 and all 0, so I'm going to get a value for x here other than 0. I'm going to get 1x is 98. So x was what? 98. And what about y? So I'll come to the y's. I have a 1 and all zeros. So y is going to be 4. And z, if I come down to z's, here's my z's. A 1 and all zeros, so 1z is 21. While we're here, let's get all of our other values. Let's get u, v, and w, or S1, S2, S3, as ZWIG calls them. So for u, now that's S1. There's no 1 and all zeros, so this has to be 0. V has to be 0. You have a 1, but not all 0, so that's got to be 0. And this has to be 0. So the values for u, v, and w, these are all zeros. And then what is p? P turns out to be, down here, right in the p column, 1p is 10,640. Now we need to remember what x, y, and z, u, v, and w are in order to write our solution. So I'm just going to go back to our original statement of our problem and see what this was. What was x? X was the number of chairs that we were going to manufacture. Y, that was the number of sofas to manufacture. And z is the number of tables to manufacture. So to maximize our profit, we will manufacture 98 chairs, 4 sofas, 21 tables. And that will give us a profit, a maximum profit of $10,640. Now, what is the U, V, and W? Now, those turned out for us to be all zeros, but what was U? That's going to come from here, and that's the number of hours of carpentry that are unused. So we're using all of our carpentry hours, V is 0, and V was the number of hours of finishing that are unused. So we're using all of finishing, right? There's 0 unused hours of finishing. And W is 0. That's the number of hours of unused hours for upholstery. So we're using all the available hours for labor. So we'll write our conclusion here, our answer. We're going to say profit is maximum at $10,640 when we manufacture 98 chairs, 4 sofas, and 21 tables.